Hello there. I'd like to welcome you to this edition of Leading Edge. We just concluded our conference, the Difference Makers Leadership Conference, over the weekend. And I think it was a great conference with great conversations by thought leaders around the subject of transformation. There were loads of learnings. I know that because I learned quite a bit. And I hope that you did also. Loads of learnings. And hopefully we have identified lots of actions to help us start executing. So, I want to share some thoughts today around the subject of how you can lead a successful transformation journey. This is to help support you in fully realizing the learnings from the conference. Now, a McKinsey survey once revealed that only 30% of change programs succeed. That's roughly 1 in 3 that succeed. So more than 70% change programs fail. Now, studies have also shown that transformation programs fail for a lot of reasons. All right? These reasons will include poor planning, lack of stakeholder support, lengthy execution timeframes, lack of agility, setting goals that are focused on the now and not on the future. Now, why I'm going to have this conversation today is to help you navigate away from these typical causes of failure for transformations. Okay? Now, I do hope that you have listed all the actions you want to take. So, in having this conversation today, we will find out what is the next step you need to take in order to deliver transformation for your life, for your family, for your business, for your institution, for whatever else you are doing. So here are ways to make your transformation program work. I'm going to be covering 7 ways to make transformation programs work. So here are they. 1, clarity of the goal and the actions. 2, set process or routine plans, not outcome plans. 3, start now. Don't defer action. 4, secure the buy-in of critical stakeholders. And 5, transformation is a tough process, so be steadfast. And 6, set milestones and secure small wins at all times. And finally, 7, put in place an accountability structure and monitoring. So these are the 7 we're going to go through. So for this edition, I will take 3 of them, and then we'll continue in the next edition to explore the other 4. So let's begin with the first one, clarity of the goal and the actions. Now you find that ever so often you get exposed to lots of information, useful information, the way we've seen it during the conference. And you are all charged up inside. You want to do this, you want to do that, you get some wisdom nugget here, get some wisdom nugget there. But you see, if you don't sit down to clearly articulate the outcome that you desire, it will all, over a period, it will all wear off. You are back to normal. Right. So clarity of the objective is a major factor in any transformation journey. And I want to invite you, put all the learnings, all the things you have thought through within this period, articulate them into a clear outcome that is desirable. What would a transformation journey look like in the end? That is the critical question you need to ask yourself. Lack of clarity here is as good as failure. It's as good as a waste. Okay? Actions that are not well thought out create confusion and become a disincentive to make progress. So there are 2 models if you want to set goals or set the outcomes that you want. There are 2 models, and I need to just run you through this. So one model is to look at things, craft the goal from a point of view of solving a problem. So identify a problem you are intending to solve. That is one way to set the goal. The other is just to merely set a better outlook for yourself. Now, the thing is, the first has specificity and focus. The second, however, is more general and can blur appropriate action. Let me give you an instance. If you set a goal today and say, I want to improve performance. Now, that goal is problem-solving oriented. As against saying, I want to centralize our operations, I want to automate our process. Now, that one is more general. Okay? The first approach focuses on why. What is the purpose of the transformation activity you are about to embark upon? So it's easier to measure and it provides flexibility in admitting some fresh approaches. You get that? The other, however, is more rigid, and in the process you can miss the very essence of the program. Okay? So be clear about what the end game of the transformation is. So in the end, it's important that you clearly provide clarity about the goal and the actions that you need to take. So the second one, it is to set process or routine plans, not outcome plans. Now, these are two different things. Set plans that speak to the routines you need to embark upon, not just the outcome you want to see. Let me explain it. Listen, routines are powerful, though they can be very boring. I must tell you upfront, right? Nobody likes routines because they are repetitive and they are boring, but they are powerful in executing any transformation journey. Repeated action drives habit and change. I'll say that again. Repeated action drives habit and change. On the average, it is said that an individual requires 21 days of repeated action to form a habit. Yeah. So focus on developing routines that deliver the transformation you want. That's how to do it. For instance, instead of setting a target of, say, I want to read one book a month, and I've done that over and over in my life. I say, every month I want to read one book. But you find that in the end, you may end up not reading that one book. So what if you changed the process in this way and say, I want to read for 1 hour every day? Now that's powerful. It will deliver better if you lock yourself into that routine than setting an overarching, outcome goal that says, I want to read one book in a month. So such structured routines produce great outcomes in the end. All right? So if we can't think in terms of systems and structures, we can't attain greatness. That is the truth. So develop great routines. Great routines deliver great lives and outcomes. So repetition is a very powerful trigger of strong outcomes in the transformation program. So I will invite you to clearly create certain routines about that place you want to go to. So what are the daily activities, the daily, actions that will deliver the overall outcome that you're looking for? So just give you some examples of some routines, right? Repeated actions that deliver great outcomes. So if you look at the Bible, you will see Elijah sending a servant to look at the skies 7 times. The action kept being repeated. Don't get bored. Keep at it. Okay? And you see Moses going to Pharaoh 10 times to demand the same thing. Let my people go. Repeated action. I'm sure you are well acquainted with the 1,000-hour rule. Sorry, the 10,000-hour rule. Okay? That says that if you want to attain the level of mastery and expertise, you need to keep on at a certain activity over 10,000 hours. Then you attain mastery. All right? So routines establish authority, they establish mastery, they establish expertise. So the fact is, practice makes permanent. I say that again. Practice makes permanent. All right? And any athlete will tell you that. Practice makes permanent. Let me just give you an example, and this is an everyday thing that happens. In the 2012 Olympic Games in London, 26-year-old Katie Taylor, I'm sure some of you remember because I was very keen about this particular young lady, right? She was from Ireland. She won the gold medal in the women's lightweight boxing final. and cause the entire arena to erupt. But more importantly, lifting the entire spirit of a nation, according to the Irish president. However, what we miss often when we see people in the arena with all the glamour of winning is the back end story of the rigorous routines, the grueling routine behind the success. All right? For instance, for Kathy, she confirms that she was jogging in the cold of winter mornings. All right? And was doing 6-hour day trainings. So part of her preparation included every day a prayer with the mom and then training with male boxers. These are the back end stories, the kind of routines that deliver greatness. So I will invite you, please set routine goals. The process is more important than the outcome. Indeed, it is the process that delivers the outcome. So focus on the process. Okay, so we have covered clarity of the goal and the actions. And number 2, set process or routine goals and not just outcome goals. So we go to number 3. Number 3 is start now. Don't defer action. Now, this is a very important point. Often we think up all of these things over the weekend, having attended a conference, we think up, so I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then Monday, you do nothing. Tuesday, you do nothing. 1 week after, you are still planning to do something. Now, that is an invitation to failure. Let me tell you this. Embarking on the first action is the most difficult in any change management program. All right? So if you're able to brace up and take the first action, then you're on your way to your destination. What will I be inviting you to do? Take action today. Start the journey now. Don't defer it. Start immediately. Now, one of the reasons why transformation programs fail is the lack of urgency by those who are driving it. All right? So, having gone through this whole learning experience, is there an urgency in your heart? That is what you should be asking. Is there an urgency? And can you start now? And why not now? So after a well thought out plan, immediacy becomes critical. Otherwise, you may lose the momentum and the steam that was built up when you were being exposed to the conditions that will drive you to, embark on the transformation journey. So I ask you, why not now? Why tomorrow? Why next week? Why next year? Weary those excuses that you may be having and start the journey now. I'll tell you a very simple lesson I learned long ago in my life that has helped me. It says, never put for tomorrow what you can do today. Don't say I'll do it tomorrow. There's this I'll call it a very hilarious, story in the Bible about Moses going to Pharaoh and saying, let my people go, and then Pharaoh will refuse, and then Moses will bring one calamity or the other upon Egypt. Now guess what? In one of those occasions, Moses brought down frog all over Egypt. So there was frog everywhere. Frog on the dining table, frog on top of your bed. Frog was floating all over the place. And then Pharaoh begged Moses and said, beg your God to take away these frogs. Moses asked a simple question. When do you want this? Can you imagine the answer Pharaoh gave? Pharaoh says, tomorrow. Tomorrow. And I'm like, what is going on here? Why not now? Why do you want to defer your deliverance? Why do you want to defer your better version till tomorrow? Start the journey now. So beware of creating excuses for yourself. Okay? Beware of creating execution gaps. There's something called intention, and it is always different from action. So don't die in the place of intention. Intentions will go into the graveyard if you don't start actions. Actions move intentions to the reality that you desire. Okay, so we've gone through this three. Now, let's recap again. So, In every project, every transformational program, a lot of work is required. You need to, number one, clarify the goal and the actions. Number two, you need to set process or routine plans and not outcome plans. Number three, you need to start now. Don't defer the program. Don't say, I will start tomorrow, like Pharaoh. Start it today. So, this is where we bring it to a close today. Next week, we shall be covering the other four, and that will be secure the buy-in of critical stakeholders. Number five, transformation is tough, a tough process. What do? Be steadfast. Number six, set milestone and secure small wins after small win. And finally, we'll be covering put in place an accountability structure and monitoring. This is what will make all the intentions that you have had come to reality. This has been Leading Edge again for today. I want to thank you for joining. And let me invite you again to join us on all our social media handles as we continue to bring this your way week after week. Thank you so much, and God bless.